Welcome back, guys. How we doing? It is Thursday night. I am back, third time this week. Um, Appreciate you guys coming on. Although it looks like we don't have a ton of people in right now, but people will likely file in as time goes on. But we're gonna be talking about the quarterbacks and kind of everything that's going on with that. Before we get into it, if you guys don't already know, support for the Jake Ellenbogen channel and Downtown Rams is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below the waist grooming. Manscaped offers precision engineered tools for your family jewels. They obsess over technology developments to provide you the best tools for your grooming experience. Manscaped is trusted by over 2 million men worldwide. And we have an exclusive offer for my viewers / listeners. You guys can get 20% off and free shipping by using either the code JKB or DTR. You'll see that it is in the below ticker. At any point, if you want to head on over there and use that code, you'll get 20% off and free shipping, and you'll help out the channel. So that is that. Welcome. We have some stuff to discuss because I couldn't figure out like what to call it, like the title or what to focus the theme of tonight on. And when I really thought about it, I was I was thinking about it, and then all of a sudden Big Ben got signed to that 1-year contract. And when he got signed to that 1-year contract, it was less about Big Ben and more about everything that kind of hit me. I was like, during this time, we're looking at Big Ben, who's in his last year, and the Steelers brought him back, and they gave him the utmost respect, and they gave him the opportunity. But we have over, with Seattle, you have a team that has Russell Wilson, and that team seems to want to get rid of him. And not only that, I don't feel like they're handling it the right way at all. So weird stuff going on. Plus, Drew Brees potentially coming back another year. I think he should retire, but, all the power to him if he feels like he can play. So, that's kind of where I'm at right now on that. I don't know. What's up with you guys? We're going to talk all about Jake. What's up? SoCal, how we doing? Yeah, I will say that. John Johnson, his Instagram feed didn't exactly give me the utmost hope that he would be back. But, stranger things have happened. Mike Davis from the Michael Davis from the Chargers, Brian Poole, or Jason Verrett. If I had to pick out of those three, I don't know. Jason Verrett played really well last year, but he's never healthy. If he stays healthy, I guess him. But I do like Michael Davis. So, how we doing, T-Boy? Yeah, so we're going to talk about it because I'm so confused about what's going on with the quarterback landscape around the league. And I say this because I'm looking at these quarterbacks and I have no idea whatsoever what some of these teams are doing. I mean, we could go down the list, and I'm just going to go in this order. We'll go AFC East. Josh Allen with the Bills. Okay, I know what they're doing. Josh Allen's a franchise quarterback. He's not my favorite quarterback out there. He makes plenty of mistakes, and I have knocked him for that. But he's a franchise quarterback. He is. Miami. They're in a weird situation here. They actually have the Texans' first-round pick, so they're in prime territory to pick one of the top quarterbacks in the draft, or they'll roll with Tua Tagovailoa. I still have no idea where they're going with that. We'll see. Maybe they get Deshaun Watson. Who knows? But at least, they have options here. So I actually like if I'm a Miami Dolphins fan, I like where we're at right now. You can either go with Tua, you can draft a quarterback, you can go with Tua and draft, an offensive tackle or another wide receiver, or you can go, with a quarterback and, draft a guy like Trey Lance or, Justin Fields or Zach Wilson, or you could trade for Deshaun Watson. I think they have a lot of options there. The Dolphins are not in a bad spot. The Patriots, they are very intriguing to me. They have about $60 million in cap space. They have a guy that I like. I don't think he's necessarily like a franchise quarterback, but I like him in Jarrett Stidham. I'd like to see more of him. They went with Cam Newton last year. Did not like that move. Thought they should have gone with Jameis Winston. Winston is available now. Mitch Trubisky's available now. A guy that I think he threw 6 or 7 touchdowns against Belichick the last time he played him. That'll be interesting to see where the Patriots go. Maybe they draft a guy, but they have $60 million to work with. They have a lot of guys coming back from that COVID opt-out list. Keep in mind, if you opted out of COVID, you still have plenty of those. Basically that year that you didn't play doesn't count against your contract. I don't know where I was going with that, but your year doesn't count against your contract. So that's a huge thing to keep in mind with COVID opt-outs. Then you have the Jets. The Jets have Sam Darnold, or they'll draft a quarterback. We get that. Okay, that makes sense. Dallas Cowboys. What the hell are you doing? What are you doing? Why is Dak Prescott not signed long-term yet? Like this has been going on for a while, and I understand. At one point or another, I was a big, critic of Dak Prescott, if you will. But the fact of the matter, he's proven himself, and he was carrying that team on his back last year. And to be quite honest with you, he had he was on pace for 6,000 yards when he got hurt. I don't know what they're doing with Dak Prescott. I don't have the slightest clue what they're doing with Dak Prescott. So, that's kind of where I'm at on that, is that I don't know what they're doing with him. I have no idea. No idea. None whatsoever. So, I would say, obviously, don't tag the guy, sign him long-term. He deserves it. He's played well for you. He's been everything that you could have asked for out of a 4th-round pick. I mean, it's ridiculous at this point. But he's not signed long-term. Then you have the Giants and Steffi, who will be a regular here on Wednesdays. She may disagree with me if she's watching this. I'm not entirely sold on Daniel Jones, but at least I like that the Giants are going to stick with him. They did this with Eli Manning. They're not an organization that's like, you have a guy for a year and you're done with him, and I do like that. I like that about the Giants. Philly, I don't know what they're doing. I think they're going to bring in competition for their 2nd-round pick in Jalen Hurts, but I mean, I don't know. They have a decent pick. They'd have to trade up to get a legit, quarterback in this draft. So I don't really know what they're doing there. Washington does look like they could go with Taylor Heineke after one impressive playoff game. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, Washington, to me, should be at the forefront of any trade that involves a Russell Wilson or a Deshaun Watson. I feel like they're truly a quarterback away. But, they're also kind of all over the place right now. Taylor Heineke would start for them. The Ravens are set with Lamar Jackson. They'll be signing him long-term sooner or later. And I would imagine it's going to be this year. And I mean, rightfully so. The guy's won an MVP. I'm a big fan of Lamar Jackson, one of my favorite players in the NFL. So they're good there. Cincinnati's good with Joe Burrow. I'm not worried about him. I know he had the knee injury, and I mean, that sucks, obviously, but he's not done. He's far from it. The Cleveland Browns, Baker Mayfield. Baker makes some mistakes here and there, but Baker ultimately is their franchise quarterback. He proved that. They went to the playoffs. You don't get rid of Baker. The Steelers, they stick by Big Ben. Now, they did get Dwayne Haskins in the offseason, so it'll be interesting to see what that entails. Are they going to develop him to take over for Big Ben next year, or are they going to draft a guy? I don't really know where they're going there, but I don't mind what Pittsburgh's doing. If they believe in Big Ben, go ahead. He saved about 15 plus million in cap space. I thought it was very unselfish to take that pay cut because they reworked his deal, and he took a big cut so they could free some cap. The Chicago Bears. What are the Chicago Bears doing? You want Russell Wilson, you want Deshaun Watson, but you wanted Jared Goff. I mean, maybe stick with. I mean, here's the thing. I don't think Trubisky is that bad. I really don't. I think the blame should be pointed more towards Nagy because I think Nagy's held the offense back. I've said this over and over again. Nagy's been he's held back the offense, and he's been carried by a defense that had Vic Fangio as the defensive coordinator prior, and then now, he has Chuck Pagano, who is a step below Fangio, but is still a good defensive coordinator, and rightfully so. That defense continues to truck along. The Lions, they have Goff. If they want to draft somebody, fine, but they have Jared Goff at least for the next 2 years. I would say if they believe in him long term, like we've been hearing, they should restructure him. Kick the can down the road. You save about $18 million if you do that. If you believe in him. If you don't, then you don't do that. But Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Love, they're pretty set there. Minnesota, I don't know what Minnesota's doing. Is Kirk Cousins going to win you a Super Bowl? What is, like, Minnesota to me is a big head scratcher in this league. What are they trying to ultimately accomplish? Are they trying to win a Super Bowl? Like what? Can anyone tell me what Minnesota is trying to do? Because that is one of the things on this, looking at the quarterback landscape, I don't understand what Minnesota is trying to ultimately accomplish. I don't get it. That's where I'm at on that. I don't know what they're trying to do. So, I mean, if they're signing Nagy and Pace to 5-year extensions, yeah, of course you're a Lions fan. Anybody that says that is not a Bears fan, I can tell you that much. That's funny, though. I'm trying to see the Twitter feed just in case anybody comments on there. It's, yeah, I don't... Anybody could tell me, that'd be great, because I don't know what... I literally have no clue as to what the Vikings are doing. Not a clue. You don't believe in Goff? I mean, I get it. I didn't truly believe in Goff either. At one point I did. But I lost that belief over time. Okay, so the Vikings, they're apparently going to stick with Kirk Cousins. To me, so remember, let me make the argument for the Vikings here. Do you remember when a team by the name of the Kansas City Chiefs had a solid quarterback that could get them to the playoffs and win, but not necessarily win a Super Bowl in Alex Smith? And then they found a guy that they loved in the draft in Patrick Mahomes, traded up and got him. Are the Vikings not that team? Like, are they really not the team that Kansas City was when they traded up to get Mahomes? Because I feel like they are. And, I'm looking at Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen and really excited about having a guy like Dalvin Cook. And then, of course, tight end now. You have Irv Smith open up. He is the guy because you moved on from Kyle Rudolph. You have to improve that defense. But, I mean, what we're not hearing about is the Vikings going after a guy, like Deshaun Watson. And, I mean, I think the Vikings need to figure something out here. I think the Vikings need to try and trade up or try and get a legit guy, because I'm looking at this team and I'm thinking, this is a team that should be capable of way more, and I don't feel like they're doing that. I know Vikings fans out there, they feel like I'm picking on their team. It's only because I feel like their team can be a lot better. It's not like I'm crapping on them. So I think Kirk Cousins is solid, but I don't feel like Kirk Cousins is moving the needle enough. Moving on, Houston, they're just a mess. They're a mess. They somehow managed to screw everything up. Houston's a total mess. So, I mean, Deshaun Watson will never play another snap for Houston. I'd put money on that. I don't even know where to begin with Houston. I don't know who they would draft. Right now, if they don't trade Deshaun Watson, they're trying to play tough, hardball. They don't have a first-round pick. Because they traded that to the Dolphins to get a tackle. Yeah, so I don't know what the Texans are trying to do here. If they want to play, tough guy and like, oh, well, we're not trading you because that's what you want. Like, okay, fine. Watson will literally retire, and then you can continue to, wither away by not moving him. I think you move him, no doubt. Absolutely, because you've already ruined that. The Colts are interesting here. Again, another team has a lot of cap, a great general manager, one of the absolute best in the game, in Chris Ballard. Somebody that, he brought in Phillip Rivers. They had Jacoby Brissett. Brissett's still available. They have a guy I really love in Jacob Eason. They could go multiple routes in this free agency. They could go with Winston. They could go with Ryan Fitzpatrick and maybe have Ryan Fitzpatrick groom, a guy like Jacob Eason into that role, be a bridge quarterback, or they could try and trade up and get somebody in the draft, or they could try and trade. You can't get Watson, obviously, because I don't think Houston's going to trade intra-division, but you could get a guy like Derek Carr, or you could get, maybe Russell Wilson. The Colts are the wild card here, though, because they, to me, are a quarterback away as well as, Washington. And I feel like if the Colts get their guy, they can win a Super Bowl. So, we'll see there. Jacksonville, I think it's pretty much a foregone conclusion. They're going to select Trevor Lawrence. The Tennessee Titans, Ryan Tannehill's enough. I think Ryan Tannehill's really improved, and I like him on that team. The Falcons, they have the most untradeable contract in Matt Ryan. I could still see them taking a quarterback, and I wouldn't mind it at all. But we'll see what they do there. Carolina, they have Teddy Bridgewater, who I think they can win games with. But ultimately, if anybody gets Deshaun Watson, I still feel like it's going to be Carolina. So if it's not, Deshaun Watson there, I don't think Teddy Bridgewater wants to play because you've thrown him around all these, trade talks. I don't think he's going to want to, come back there. Doesn't feel welcome. And I can't really blame him. The Saints, if they bring back Drew Brees, if Drew Brees doesn't retire, then, that's going to be weird because Jameis Winston's still a free agent. It's funny. It's like people act as though he's already signed his contract with the Saints. I don't think he's going to sit another year behind Drew Brees. I do not think that. Tampa has Tom Brady. You could see them draft a quarterback behind Tom Brady. We'll see there. The Broncos have Drew Lock. We'll see what they do there. Personally, I would stick with Drew Lock, see what you have in him. Kansas City, obviously, they're the most set with Patrick Mahomes. The Raiders, they have Derek Carr, but, we don't know what they're going to do with Derek Carr. And they're freeing some cap space by getting rid of, Gabe Jackson and potentially trading Trent Brown, who they're trying to move. So that tells me that they could be making a trade maybe for Russell Wilson. Who knows? The Chargers, they have Justin Herbert. They're set. Arizona has Kyler Murray. They're set. The 49ers, I don't. If you think Jimmy Garoppolo is the guy, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, he's a lesser version of Jared Goff. So I don't know why you would go with him. And then Seattle has Russell Wilson, but they're somehow screwing that up. So I don't know what they're up to. And then the Rams have Matthew Stafford. So when you look at the quarterback landscape across the league, who has a quarterback? Who has a solidified, guaranteed quarterback at the most important position in football? Bills. So yeah, I just realized it. It cuts out sometimes. So yeah, no, we're good. We're good. So I have the Bills. That's the only team in the AFC East. The AFC North, you have the Ravens, you have the Bengals, you have the Browns, you have the Steelers. Okay, that's 5 teams that have solidified quarterbacks coming into this season. So that's 5. And then you have, Trevor Lawrence, I guess, is 6, and Tannehill 7. Lock is not solidified. I don't know if the Broncos are going to stick with Lock, so I can only stay at 7. Mahomes 8. Carr's not solidified. Justin Herbert 9. And then, Daniel Jones is probably solidified because I don't see them moving on from him. So that's 10. And then after that, is Jared Goff solidified with the Lions? I think so in the short term. That's 11. Aaron Rodgers, 12. Kirk Cousins, I don't know what's going on there. Matt Ryan, who knows? Teddy Bridgewater, who knows? Drew Brees, who knows? Tom Brady, that's 13. Kyler, 14. 49ers, who knows? If they really stick with Jimmy Garoppolo, wow. Seattle, who knows? Rams. So that's 15 teams that are solidified for at least 1 to 2 years at quarterback. You have 4 top dogs, in my opinion, at the quarterback position. In order, I would go Trey Lance, Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, and Justin Fields. So that's 4. So that would be 19. You still have plenty more. We have to figure out what's going on with Dak. We have to figure out what's going on with Russ. So, guys, it's wide open. This is my point for the title of this video is that, I don't know. The landscape is confusing and it makes no sense because it's all of a sudden now we have all these quarterbacks and we have no idea what's going on with them. Like, this is what the Deshaun Watson effect was. This is what, the Rams going out and getting Matthew Stafford. This is the effect of that. It's chaos. It's all just crazy. So, yeah, I look at this and I'm like, there's going to be a lot of moving. You look during the draft, there's probably going to be a lot of trade ups, trade downs, what have you. But I'll say if you're Washington, I'd say Washington, Indy, and Minnesota should be trying to trade up and get their quarterback. Kirk Cousins isn't your quarterback of the future. Kirk Cousins isn't doing it. He's not. So that's where I stand on that. Seahawks should stop their crap and just don't trade Russell Wilson. Fix that relationship. That's all I can really say on that front. But now I'm going to start looking at you guys, like your guys' questions and answering and stuff. But I just had to say that about the quarterbacks because I don't know what's going on with that. Like, the landscape makes no sense. None whatsoever. Okay, so who do you think the Rams are going to sign from free agency in the upcoming week? If I had to put anything out there, I'll say Jadeveon Clowney, Austin Blythe. I still feel like John Johnson's in play, and I'll say Marvin Hall. That's where I'm at on that. But yeah, I'm sorry. The Colts got Carson Wentz. I'm all out of it, folks. Don't even listen to me. I just did a video on how much I loved the Carson Wentz pickup, and I'm so out of it. Yeah, no, good catch there. Good catch. Who was that? I'm looking. Someone just said that. Okay. Yeah, Andres Castillo. Yeah, thank you. My God. That's what I get for doing everything. I just had the names of teams here. I wasn't looking at the actual teams. My God, that's so obnoxious. Yeah, Carson Wentz is the guy. That was my point. Carson Wentz, I think, is going to explode with Frank Reich, and I feel like the Colts are going to be great. I don't know why I said the Colts have nobody. That was stupid. My God. You know what I think it is, actually? I know exactly what it was. I saw that interview with Chris Ballard. It was an interview during, like, it was done a while ago. And it actually kind of tripped me out because it was after the Wentz deal that it went through. But I saw this interview with Chris Ballard that Joey Molinaro, the guy that does all those impressions, he did. And that interview, again, was recorded a while back. And then I just saw it the other day and how they were talking about how they needed a quarterback. And he guessed it would be Andy Dalton. And, Chris Ballard, like, laughed about it. Like, he was like, I don't know who it's going to be, but, we'll see. And, yeah, I just saw that after, and it, like, totally blanked my memory, apparently, of Carson Wentz going there, which makes me happy again because now I just realized that remember that Carson Wentz is going to Indy. Big fan of him and, big fan of, Chris Ballard. So I think it's going to be a good fit. And I also think, I've said this before and I'll say it again, Frank Reich was the engine of the Philadelphia Eagles, and no one can tell me otherwise. Okay, so, oh my God, Jared Cook has caused a big stir. Jared Cook is not going to go to the Rams. Les Snead ruined the market for Watson on purpose to potentially sabotage other teams. Interesting. Hey, thanks for the donation, Blake. Appreciate it. Oh, the double. Appreciate that. What do you think about Joseph Asai? I like Asai from Texas. He's a little raw, but I like his build, and he's definitely somebody that's going to be near the top of my edge defenders for sure. I like him. I definitely like him. I haven't gone through all the edge defenders yet, but I have gone through him, and I like him. I need to go more in depth with him, but yeah. No, Jake, the Seahawks have to trade Wilson to be successful. Yeah. It was the same when Goff was paid because people were better than Goff and wanted to be paid more. Rams should look into Melvin Ingram. He's an option, but I think he'll be more expensive. John Ross is an option. Haha, you had me thinking I was watching an old video when you said that. Love the content, man. No, I appreciate you, because I honestly, like I said, I was watching that interview that Joey Molinaro did with Chris Ballard, and it tripped me out. That's weird. I would not take Asai over Jordan Smith. Jordan Smith is going to end up being maybe my favorite edge defender in all of the draft. I mean, I love Jordan Smith. Can't go wrong with UAB. The Rams have one UAB guy, and he's Darius Williams, and he's a freak. So I really think Obo can break out next season if he can start. Same with Traven Howard, who is supposed to start. I'm a big fan of Traven Howard. I think he's already the second best linebacker on the roster behind Troy Reeder. But I will say that with Obo Okoronkwo, the biggest issue with him, and I was a big fan of him coming out of Oklahoma, biggest issue with him is health. If he stays healthy, he can be good. I worry that the health has kind of sapped some of his athleticism. I don't know. Like, he doesn't seem like the same. Like, he doesn't seem like the prospect that I scouted. Like, it seems like he's been taken. Like, he took a notch down a little bit. So that's what I'll say on that. Jake, the last few years, the Rams don't make any free agency moves, only signing a couple of players, Weddle Matthews and A-Rob Floyd. With how the cap is this year, are we confident they'll be making moves? They'll be making moves, I think so. Because I think, this is going to be an opportunity for them. This is as Steffi mentioned, 1996, this is going to be 1-year deals out the wazoo. So, the Rams are going to be able to grab guys that want to win a Super Bowl. They want to go to a contender. They want to go to, sunny California, and that's, where they'll end up going. They want to play with Matthew Stafford. He's well respected around the league. They want to play with Sean McVay, another guy that's well respected around the league. They want to play with Andrew Whitworth. And then the defense. I mean, they're the number one defense from last year, so people are going to want to play with them. Plus, Raheem Morris is a player's coach. People really like him, well respected. So they have a lot of reasons why somebody would want to go there. Rams put a tender on Traven Howard and Coleman Shelton. Yeah, I don't really understand the Shelton one, except I think he's just a camp body. But Traven Howard, I like that. I'm a big fan of his. I like those, like the hybrid linebacker safety. And that's what he was at TCU. Snead sabotaged the West for sure. Yeah, the trade for Stafford was huge. Les Snead definitely deserves a lot of credit for that. That was ballsy. Horns up. Yeah. How was everyone doing? It's a little dead tonight. I was hoping we get some more people on. Maybe it's because it's 9:30, so it's like 6:30 in like the West Coast, which not mainly, but the majority of my subs are from the West Coast. Maybe that's why. I don't know. Snead made the first move that was very bold, made it difficult for other teams to move by increasing the value of players. That's actually a great point. That's very great. Snead really put a lot of pressure on the rest of the league. And not so much the teams that have a Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers, but rather the teams that don't have a Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, that's a good point. I like Leonard Williams a lot if we cut Brockers because I have a feeling we're going to cut him. Yeah, I just don't. Leonard Williams is going to be way too expensive. It's just not going to be able to be. It's not going to happen, I don't think. I mean, he's going to be too expensive. Brockers could be traded. I just have a feeling he's going to be gone one way or another. I'm not looking forward to it, but I just have a feeling that's like where we're headed. I like the Big Ben re-signing. I said it last night, when we were going through all the teams and the cap situations with the Steelers. I said, look, the Steelers can get up to $60 million in cap space. Another contract for Big Ben. It's basically going to be a contract that is strategically placed to have a bunch of years that cancel out, similar to Leonard Floyd. So you have those dummy years that cancel out, and it allows you to have more flexibility in that contract and move money around. So because of that, they were able to save over $15 million